personal opinion, I feel like Canna House could be the bigger picture for us, more than creating these vibes, right? Is to have leverage when this industry turns over.
Jay.
Jessica.
Castle.
And we are Culture Business. Well, I'm about to go into it. We have a guest today who's going to introduce himself. Jesus.
What's up, everybody? I'm Reggie from Canna House. What up, what up?
Yo, what's wrong? yo, it's definitely a different cloudy day today, you know, like a different type of cloud.
Yeah.
They only had one joint. Got that pulled down before.
Nah, I come strapped, baby.
You ain't see that bag sitting there?
I didn't. Yeah.
I ran outside to get those batteries. It's all on.
You kind of just admitted those shits was in your trunk.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
No, I mean the cloud, the air.
You definitely said to go
no.
get those batteries.
No, y'all taking it to the extreme. I mean, when I went to go drive, I gotta say I had to drive to go get the batteries.
Details. It's all in the details.
Whatever, man. So we got Reggie from Canna House.
Oh shit.
Start how do y'all two know each other?
Me and Reg actually grew up together,
Fact.
like in church.
Word.
I mean, like we go way. Actually, no, we grew up. Like I met you before we came. Me and my grandmother came to that church. The first time we met was at the Boys and Girls Club on Bailey and Doe.
Ooh,
Yo, we
my
was
pops ran that.
shorties,
Yeah,
dude.
we was some.
And we was be running back and forth. Now we on opposite teams. He
What teams?
busting our ass. No, we wasn't even.
What
It was
teams,
like
though?
pickup.
Basketball.
Okay.
It was like little kids. Like we just had like open gym in that
Yeah.
joint. He was giving us buckets.
How old?
Dude.
Come on, don't hate, bro.
Dude, I mean, like,
that's my man. That's my
Dude,
man
listen,
in the
it was
background.
it was
right
like 12. We was like 12, 13. He kicking our ass.
I got a question.
What man? He was doing everything to us.
Bro,
And I'm
no,
like,
bro.
and I'm mad as hell, right? Because I'm on the other squad. Like, who is checking this motherfucker? Like, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Right?
That sound
Every
about
time
right.
I score, he come down
Boy.
score. It ain't matter who we put on this motherfucker.
That sound about right.
So I just about hated him. And then we end up going to the same church. We end up playing together.
Okay.
I mean, like we go way back.
Yeah,
Like,
Gotcha.
way
Like-
back.
So Reggie.
Reggie, that's all
Okay.
good, man.
So Reggie, so you're from Buffalo.
That's a fact. Born and raised.
Born and raised. You
Born
ever
and
lived outside?
Yeah. I went to school in Charlotte. I went to HBCU. Shout out JSCSU, Johnson C. Smith University. You know what I mean?
Did you step?
Nah, I wasn't one of those. shout out to the frats though. I got some friends that was in the frat, but no, that wasn't my style.
What year did you go?
I went in there 03. Yeah,
03?
yeah.
So you was around that Kanye West time.
Yeah. Backpack era, a lot of polos and pastel colors just flying around. You know what I mean? Yeah,
All right.
with the
we did
motherfucking
it.
blazers on and shit.
That's a fact. That's a
Polos
fact.
with the oh god.
I don't think I was a polo blazer guy, but I might have worn my collar up once or twice.
Yeah. So 03, you were 19.
Ooh, shit, man, you wasn't even count for real. That's just, yeah, 18.
Okay, so is it safe to say you started blowing then, or was you
Oh,
blowing
nah,
back when
man.
you was 12, busting his ass back?
13?
No, it wasn't me. It was our team.
Just to be clear, you wasn't checking me directly.
I wasn't. I see what you was doing to everybody else. I ain't want none of that shit for real.
So he was back then. He was the LeBron. He ain't want no piece of what's your man from the Clippers?
Oh, Kawhi?
It was like that. It was like
I'm not gonna let y'all
I see what he was doing to everybody else.
So we're not gonna have no
like,
LeBron slander on.
And I was like one of the best players at the club, so it's like I see this motherfucker embarrassing everybody else. He ain't about to get me, cause I'm gonna hear that shit. I don't see this motherfucker all the time. I know I come up there, they gonna be like, "Ooh, Jason, let me." Yeah, that ain't about to happen.
You ain't do that to the nigga that was up here last week. That type of shit.
Yeah.
So 03. So you didn't play no ball? You played basketball?
Yeah, I played. I went to performing arts. You know what I mean? Shout out, me and Casa actually went to high school together. Man, we played ball. I actually only played 1 year. Kind of had a bad temper. There's just a bunch of circumstances throughout a couple of those years that didn't work out.
Called coach a pussy in practice.
What? Yo, he was on your Latrell Speaker?
He was a pussy. Just to be clear.
It's not disrespectful.
Yo, you know what I mean? That's we somewhat.
No,
cool
you
now.
didn't directly call him. You was like you acting.
You acting. That's what I said.
He was trying to be respectful.
I was. But he
Shit
really
was still
was.
bad funny though.
It
The
was.
shit was bad funny.
I actually got kicked off the team because I threw my jersey at him. And
Okay.
man, that was the last time I got to play. You know what I mean?
So
that was junior year.
So you and Consul got a connection through high school.
Yeah, through high school.
So that's how y'all met.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Yep.
All right. So now, I'm trying to get somewhere.
So you trying to? So when
Yeah.
you want to get a timeline in
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
so even before probably I met Castle, like maybe that summer of I was 13, turning 13. I probably had my first thought of experience with cannabis, right? So I was kind of telling y'all before, like it was a tree across the street from my house. I grew up like in Humboldt Park. And the Chronic kind of the album was out. So that plant, just seeing the version of what that plant looked like. I'm young, I didn't know what the actual plant looked like. But it was a tree that grew across the street, and the leaves kind of resembled Chronic. So I'm like, oh shit, it's a whole tree across the street. What's so weird? These niggas is crazy. What? I'm with it. It's free. I could do this. And it looked brown. I got paper bags in the house. I don't know what they're rolling up in. I don't think it's a Dutch. I don't know what a Dutch. It's a leaf. I don't know none of that shit.
Yo.
Me and my little brother. Shout out my little brother Flame, man. Danny, you know what I mean? I talked him into it. My mom used to have a beat up temple. They used to be in the driveway. We snuck in there, ripped up the paper bag, broke down the fucking other shit. Yeah, man, it was the worst fucking puff I ever had in my life, dog. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I snuck into my dad's cigarettes before and it was worse than that, man. It was so bad. It was so bad, but it didn't turn me off. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, that wasn't it though.
Yeah,
I know that can't be what they're doing, bro.
Right.
My brother like, yo, no, man, that ain't it. And sure enough, maybe a couple weeks later, playing ball at Humboldt Park, you know what I mean? Bumping to a couple kids I grew up with, and somebody had the real thing. I'm like, you want to take a hit? I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is me. You know what I mean? It mellowed me out, and I was like, oh no, I'm fucking with this. You know? So I played with it, and then probably by the time I'm 18, going to college, you know what I mean? That's really when I really got heavy into consuming for real. Word.
So it's safe to say you would recommend this to a younger version of yourself now, like, you know.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm not trying to like.
No, that's a great question, man. Because youth consumption is a big concern in terms of when it becomes legal, right? What exactly is it going to look like? Who's going to be able to smoke it, buy it in the stores, right? And I guess there's mixed studies in terms of how it affects. I would say before you start consuming, I would give my advice to anybody to educate yourself on what you actually put in your body.
Yeah.
Whether it's weed, whether it's food, you need to understand what you actually are consuming and what it can do for you. I consumed probably from the time I'm telling y'all, maybe 14, I was seriously dibbling and dabbling to now here I am about to be 35 years old, right?
What?
Word.
30, 20, 27.
Oh, I wish. But and I say that because in that time, more than I say 70 to 80% of that time, I didn't know how to use cannabis. It was then they're using me, right? I was just smoking. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's a nice high. That's cool. I wanted it for recreation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But as I got older, I'm having little aches and pains. I'm like, man, they talking about this is a miracle plant. How don't I know how to actually consume it in a way that it actually helps me feel better and help me be high, you know what I mean, chill and do my thing with it too. And as I started to learn more about the plant and really start to study it, it helped me understand like what I was putting in my body. So my advice to my younger self would be, hey man, if you're gonna do it, learn more. You know what I mean? Learn more about what you're doing other than just, yo, shit, the rappers doing it, everybody got it for sale, nigga on the corner telling me you got the loud, it's the gas, all of that, you know, you didn't know. And thank God the underground, I would say the non-regulated market isn't really based on kind of screwing people over and lacing their weed. That's not like a common thing. You know what I mean? But it's dangerous if you just think about how young kids get introduced to weed their first time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm actually pro, a young kid, they have interest, their parents showing more interest and telling them how to actually, consume or what's going on. Maybe you ain't telling them and instructing them, hey man, this is how you roll your blunts. Right, but you're telling them, hey, this is what's going on, so you can make an educated decision on what's going on, and then you need to be educated as a parent in order to do that.
Right.
So that's a big thing that I push in terms of like kids consuming or youth being able to have access to it is let them know what's up, man. Don't try to hide that shit because they're gonna find out.
My daughter thinks mine is bad sage.
Yeah, see. But how old is she?
11.
Hey, so there's a time when you gotta introduce her to that. I don't think she's ready yet, but that lie ain't gonna go for long, right?
Because right now she like, is that skunk? That smells like a skunk.
Word. That's it.
Oh yeah, baby, one got in the hallway.
It's a bad batch of sage.
That's what she came in the other day because I had told her that before, and she came home last weekend and she wasn't supposed to be there. She was like, Mom, you bought bad sage again?
Yeah, that ain't gonna last. Yeah, that definitely ain't gonna go
Definitely.
for
So,
long.
question.
Yeah.
You got started then. What pursued you to keep going and start producing or start this Canna House?
All right, so let me explain exactly what Canna House is. So, by functionality, we are one of the nation's first cannabis clubs, right? So we're a social club that we're cannabis centric, and we put on activity-based events.
Okay.
So we do puffin paints, we do cooking with cannabis, murder mysteries. There's a slew of different type of events.
Hold on, something. Murder mystery.
Murder mystery.
Why you getting high?
Yeah, why you getting high?
shit.
So you gotta
You ain't
figure
gonna
that
never
out.
get out that motherfucker.
Man, no, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. And a lot of people, you know what I mean? It was actually a really, really good event, man, because people actually use their mind.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't want people to just smoke and then you just chill.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get sleepy, you know, it's just you get kind of a little irritated by not being in your own comfort zone.
Okay.
So you want to have you smoking and consuming and doing something with that. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Use that brain power.
Yeah.
Put
That's-
some sativa in the air.
That's
You know what I
actually
mean?
something that's very, very interesting. I've actually learned that, like, I didn't actually start smoking until I was like 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that, like, we grew up in the church, and you know, people frown about that. I asked you about that
Facts.
later on, but like, I noticed though, like, when you're high, it opens up that, like, that creative part of your brain.
For sure.
And like, I thought I had some of my best ideas when I was high.
Mhm.
I didn't write them down, so I forgot a whole lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But listen, like, that's actually a real thing. So when you talk about, like, that murder mystery, I can understand that, like, you being able to think clear, or someone saying that I feel like I think better when I'm high. Like,
Word. And it's all our shit is all inclusive, so we like to try to like pick strains that we know will induce that.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
Right?
talking about the strands.
It's different strands, man. So we partner with a couple different growers that we know, and we try to provide high quality cannabis when you come into the event. So when you come in, you're gonna get provided 2 grams with your purchase. We provide infused drinks, infused food. So there's a number of different things we're providing with your purchase. But in that, we are choosing to put cannabis in the circle that is going to put you upbeat, right? So indicas and sativas is the most common way to explain that. Indica, when you think about it, is in the couch. That shit gonna put you down.
That's true.
Okay.
Those kind of weeds will put you kind of sitting and chilling, right? Weed I'm smoking now, type of weeds that induce conversation, euphoria, right? The ability to try to think out loud,
Bring it
creativity.
back.
Yeah. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Yeah, my dog. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But
Because I need some of that.
nah, for sure.
I want that.
You
for
might.
sure. You might.
All right,
You
okay.
might. Yeah,
Is there another strand for the enhance the other
sexuality?
Yeah.
I don't.
All of them.
Yeah, for sure.
No, not all of them.
I ain't gonna say
Shit,
all
you
of
ain't
them.
never.
All of them.
You ain't
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I've had some really good experiences on weed. I've had some horrible experiences.
Talk about it.
I ain't never had
Besides
some
that
horrible
one.
ones. I'm back.
Give me a
to
horrible.
back.
A horrible one. Man, it's just been so dry afterwards. Like everything, my mouth dry. I can't get no liquid in it. It just feels like a
yeah.
fucking desert. It's 2 fucking
I must
pillows
have
running around, rolling around, kissing on each other. It's terrible, horrible, bro. It's so bad. It was so bad. Oh my god, so bad. The water couldn't change it. Right? I drank like 2 fucking bottles of water. Oh man. It was horrible, man.
So you talking about those
Cotton
strands?
mouth.
Okay. What strand would be Bubble Kush?
In terms of what? Like what it does? I believe Bubba Kush is a hybrid, which is sativa dominant. So a lot of those strains you're gonna find, nothing's really pure anymore. Something that's already crossed with it, right? So to get a Kush or OG, you probably mixed it with something, right? You get those different names. So it's probably a hybrid from the jump, which is a cross between a sativa and indica. And either you got a 50-50 ratio, where it's kind of like it evens each other out, or sometimes you have one that's like a sativa or indica dominant, right? So, I think Bubba Kush is actually a sativa dominant. But I don't quote me, man. There's so many different strains. I'd be lying to tell you I know everyone specifically. But there's some good sites. I would say allbud.com is a wonderful site to go to. You can literally put that shit in there, any strain, put allbud behind it. It'll take you there. It'll give you a great breakdown of how the weed should look. You know what I mean? What you should smell, how you feel, the different type of things it actually can help with. Because it's supposed to, again, things to actually attack. We got these things called CB1 and CB2 receptors in our body, right? And when you consume cannabis, they actually, those receptors get activated, right? So, and then they start to actually heal your body and do things that actually affect you in a positive way.
Right.
So when you find strands that particularly target certain receptors, that are more commonly affecting the neural situation more than the physical, right?
Okay.
You might have something like that. Then you want to use those strains to particularly treat, in one symptoms or one disease or the other. And in the website like that will tell you, there's a couple joints out there like that. I think Leafly does the same thing. You can literally just put the strain in.
Yeah,
and
somebody
it'll
just
tell
put
you
me onto
exactly
that
what
app.
Word,
Yeah.
word. No, there's some great joints out
So
there.
is that why
resources.
people say consuming weed it helps with cancer patients?
Absolutely. It helps with chemo. It helps with pain. It helps with nausea. So there's cases. I don't get too much into anecdotal stories.
Right.
If I don't know the story directly, I don't like to retell it. But there are cases of it actually really helping and removing or cancer not being there after the certain consumption levels. But I would say this: I think everybody, it's my theory, is that we're all cannabis deficient in some way, right?
Okay.
Everybody needs to have cannabis in their life. So without getting too deep into it, there is the weed that we know that we smoke for recreation, which is like marijuana, and then there's hemp, which CBD is usually derived from.
Right,
Everybody knows CBD is kind of running rampant. Everybody loves CBD.
Right.
It's the health version, non-psychoactive version of cannabis. They're cousins, right? They kind of grow the same, they look the same, but they don't do exactly the same things. But they both have really great benefits. Where the fuck was I going with this? I don't even know.
I was just letting him go. Like,
Damn,
go.
I was really about to be our dissertation. I'm like,
I was interested.
where am I taking them though? Where am I taking them?
I was
I'm
along
gonna
for
like
the
this.
ride,
bro.
yes, I was.
I'm gonna like the brother
might
remember
have-
a little bit.
Nigga, you don't say.
You know word? No. But the weed actually helps again target some of these diseases in a way that are really healthy. Your question, that's what it was.
Yeah,
You're asking more about cancer. So it actually targets maybe some of the symptoms.
Right.
I know that indirectly. Again, there are stories about it actually.
Yeah,
You consuming it in a way, and I was saying everybody needs to have an actual diet. So I think even if you're not smoking this or you have CBD, I think we all need to have a certain level of grams of CBD for our body
For sure.
to be going a certain way. You know what I mean? I honestly think that because weed, cannabis, any of these things do at their root purpose is they are like equalizers. They
Yes.
create homeostasis
Yes.
in the body.
You're getting real educated.
Yeah, I
for some
know,
of these
but
motherfuckers
I'm
that
sorry,
don't know what
I'm sorry.
homeostasis
But nobody
is.
creates.
And that's me.
Balance.
That was
in
a
a
real.
nutshell, homeostasis is balance.
Yeah, you too hyper, right? You know what I mean? They give you Ritalin, right, to bring you down and shit like
no
that.
more Rick's rant.
But you can smoke weed. You know what I mean? Weed will do the same thing. Will kind of balance your body, man. So
So you saying if I smoke weed, I'm gonna just calm down?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, hit this blunt right now.
Think
No,
about
no, wait.
Yo,
Whoa.
I'm gonna
just
wait.
think about this for a second. Like,
One
you
second,
gotta-
I know my boss might see me, so off camera.
Yo, but when you hear about people committing violent crimes and stuff like that, especially no disrespect, but a lot of times these white people, and they going they shooting up schools and stuff like that. You see, a lot of them they might be drinking or they, you know what I'm saying, they using some hardcore drug, right? You know what I'm saying? How many people could you're not thinking about committing no crime when you high off of weed? You ain't yo, I'm about to go do some wild shit. I'm about to go rob this nigga or I'm gonna shoot up this place. Weed ain't gonna make you want to do no shit like that.
Yeah, that's not a common thing to respond that way after smoking. I mean, I'm wrong. Some niggas probably done some creative crimes on weed.
Maybe creative. You know what I'm saying? Not no extra shit.
Right. But yeah, absolutely. That's a true statement. It definitely has a bad name. There's a real history of cannabis in this country and how it got deemed the way that it got demonized. And it just was a horrible smear campaign because we actually was running out of money, and the agency that was ahead of kind of controlling and monitoring the drugs in the country, they didn't have nothing to do. They were about to cut the funds for him. And this guy named Harry Inslinger. Let me say that wrong. I might mispronounce his
You
name.
talking about the DEA?
Not the DEA. It was before the DEA actually existed. But he was ahead of that, and they were running out of funds. And long story short, he chose marijuana to be kind of his beat up, right? He took it and just traveled around the country. Mind you, at this time, this is the 40s, 50s. You know what I mean? So news don't travel fast. So when he goes say something, and the guy that is deemed the government's head of drug right? He's supposed to be the one controlling drugs. He tells you, yo, this marijuana is gonna make your white daughter want to go sleep with a black man, or you're gonna go crazy and want to kill somebody. It's a murder drug, right? Once you put this name on it, it's horrible. But what he got was funding. They said, "Oh man, we can't let this shit go down. We can't lose this organization. We need this. We need them." He's fighting marijuana, right? And then that's what it became, a crusade to fight marijuana. And once you go down that road, and that's how you get your money, you can't go all of a sudden, hey, no, this shit good. I was just joking, y'all. Y'all, I was fucking with y'all, though. I had to get y'all to pay attention to me. Like, no, you can't do that.
Your white daughter's still gonna sleep with that black
absolutely.
man. But
Yeah, he wasn't lying about that part.
That ain't the reason, though. It ain't got nothing to do.
So do you think now that it's come full circle that it helps and does all of those things and people are able to smoke and enjoy it?
Right, give me that back. I'm sorry.
So they're now in New York State is now thinking about making it legal.
Right.
Do you think that that's going to help or hurt what you're doing?
No, so honestly, it won't affect me necessarily either way, positive or negative. I don't that way. I don't think in that way. Like in terms of how I actually operate, it won't affect me. Not what I say it won't affect me, but it won't stop my shine or my grind. I'm gonna go either way. But what it will do is regulate cannabis, which I think is a need. It's a real fickle line because we've been consuming weed in this country for I don't know, decades, right?
Yeah.
So
Thousands of years.
without people regulating it. You know what I mean? Just directly in this country since its existence, but damn near people have been finding a way to consume cannabis in some way, form, or fashion. And it hasn't been regulated. But what you see in when a market gets or an industry gets created is everybody's running to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're going to run and make money, you're going to run into people who aren't there for the culture of cannabis.
For sure.
To Jason's point earlier, where he was saying like, "Yo, people don't really do that after they smoke cannabis. There's just a thing that comes with cannabis. There's a culture, a vibe that comes with it, the energy, and there's just unwritten rules that we really just don't fuck with. But when you bring in money into a situation, that starts to take over, right? It erodes the culture, and then it becomes about how you make money. And if it's all about how you make money, then you got to worry about what products are coming into the market.
Yeah,
like what actually is smoking. Like, I don't know what. You know what I mean? Right. Because you got a good brand or packaging. I don't know if it's quality control, if it's good weed. You know what I mean? If it's old, weed can mold. It's just a bunch of stuff that again.
Weed can mold.
Weed can mold, man. It could be worms in your weed, man. For real, man. It could be bad. So there are cases where this can happen, and I think the law. The government getting involved in that sense of helping to regulate, because I don't think it should be an independent government decision. I don't believe in that. I think there should be a body of the people, of the owners, of the industry dwellers, that they have some part in making the decisions about what regulations need to happen.
That was my next question.
Yeah, because I don't think there's enough conversation between the two. I mean, we're looking at who runs the government right now. There's not that much of a chance for us to have that conversation. But even in past administrations, Obama necessarily wasn't like overly open to the conversation. He had kind of bigger fish to fry too, I would say, and a bit of in his defense. But that would have been a good time for us to get in those 8 years. But now, I think as it's coming along in states, and Cuomo is now in a point where he has stuck his foot in his mouth for to get another year, saying he's going to get something comprehensively passed. As a bill, he said that last year, and I hope he lives up to it. And if he does, I think it goes a long way in actually setting some standards as to, what actually is provided in terms of quality and quality control in the market.
So you're a big reader, I see.
Yeah, I mean, I like books that feed me. I like to be fed. If it come in a book form, I'm with that. I'm an audio book. I would have sleep on a book. I swear to God, it took me 2 months.
But I'm just saying in general, you read a lot.
Yeah, no, I do.
I got a quick question, and it's just a quote. You probably know where this quote came from. What will the culture around you develop into as a result of what you are creating now?
I don't know where that's from though.
You.
Ooh.
So
Ooh, that's
You must have been
fire.
high.
Fire.
That is some sweet
I'm about to say,
shit.
yo, tell that nigga call me.
I'm about to steal that one.
That's
so
fire.
I do research.
I
I
appreciate
dig
that.
in, a little bit. And I guess for my platform, I'll answer that for my
I would
platform.
love to hear that.
My platform is to give, our community, and I don't just mean Buffalo. I mean it could be Atlanta, it could be in California, somewhere, an opportunity to showcase their talent, whatever it is.
Right.
Writing books, writing hooks, writing poetry. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. So when all said and done, I'm sitting back and I'm looking and I'm seeing people creating that in their cities.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because what happens is that a lot of times there's a lot of starving artists. Whether like again, writing books, poetry, and I just think that by the time I'm done with it and I hang it up and I'm not doing it, I want the state of the culture to be people doing what I was doing, the better.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
I just wanted to ask you, where do you see it, the culture, the state? Because you said this,
Nah,
and I'm on the listen.
I
I
love
didn't
it.
tell nobody where I was, but I was sitting there and I'm like, damn, I ain't got no paper. I gotta get it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like, yo,
word.
this is shit.
Nah.
And you want to steal people's shit, but you like, yo, I know if he wrote this shit,
Nah, for real.
he knows.
I'm definitely in tune.
Just quote that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Works-
yeah.
works
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, one more time. Let me hear it one more time. I love that. That was dope.
What will the culture around you develop into as a result of what you're creating now?
That's beautiful. Yeah, man. So I really, in my personal opinion, I feel like Canna House could be the bigger picture for us, more than creating these vibes, right, is to have leverage when this industry turns over, right? Because what's going to happen is big money is going to walk into this industry.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Pepsi money, I'm talking. Like, you know what I mean? That money going to come in. And when they come in, they're going to walk in, and usually what they do in our neighborhoods, they go, hey, man, come get $10 off your first purchase with us at our dispensary. We go, hell yeah, I'm going to the dispensary, about to get lit, right? We just gave away our buying power for $10.
Right.
We don't even know that shit gonna tax us 30%.
Right.
So that really ain't even cover that. You know what I mean? That's all we did. We walked in there, now they got a customer for free, right? So what we could do is we could be gatekeepers, right? So we have membership-based club, right? So as a member, as a free member, you can come in, be a part of that, and what we do is start to create a collective that has leverage to say, you know what? Dispensary X, we would buy with you, sure. But when somebody show you that they got this membership card that say Canna House on it, they need 30% off.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we can negotiate that number if you feel that's a little unfair for you, then let's figure out that, right? But that's the kind of negotiation we can have with our buying power. In addition to that, we can say, all right, well, what kind of equity program you got? It ain't just about our buying power
Talk
right
about
here. You know what I mean? What you doing with this? You know what I mean? You know how many people fucking are in jail and lost the opportunity to be free so that you can have this legal ass business that all you had to do was apply for? Fuck out of here. What you doing to get the money back to them? You got an equity program that's helping people when they come back out, they can get a job. Are you hiring ex-felons that got marijuana on their record?
Right.
You know, that's the shit we can ask people before we start buying a fucking product. When you got a group of people that is interested in that. So what I would like to see in the
So it's
future
like
for
a
this,
co-op for
it is, and really in the information side. And because that's really where the power is. If you are educated as a consumer, or it's just a mother of a consumer, a brother of a consumer, right? You start to, all of our education is elevated in the community, so we start to make decisions as educated people around this plant, right?
Question.
Yeah, no doubt.
Have you ever thought about rapping?
Nah.
I just got the Wale vibes.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. I get that all the time.
No, and he was just spitting some shit. I'm like, damn, I hear a beat. No, all jokes aside though. My last question for me. My last question would be, it's hard to keep people together. And I mean people, I mean our black people together. Working on something, knowing that, yo, listen, right now, the vision is, the tunnel for the vision for all of us looking is small. But at the end of it, is the rainbow, is all the things that we want, right? All the gold and whatever. How do you just stay steadfast into that and knowing that your vision is going to manifest?
Honestly, I seen it happen. And you gotta believe, once you've seen it happen on a micro level, that you know how to, once you learn what happened, it's all about growing that out and scaling it out. I literally changed the whole outlook on my family. Shout out to Jason saying that we've been on each other since church. I grew up in church. My mother has master's in divinity. She was a pastor's pastor, right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All my family are deacons, and I changed their outlook on cannabis. They now embrace it in a way that they once didn't look at it like that. And I attribute that to my steadfast push, right? So me staying with my shit, me being able, but I had to be knowledgeable. I couldn't just come to them and be like, oh, y'all tripping. Mm-hmm. I had to be able to let them understand, well, listen, man, you know them aches and pains here. Here goes some rub, man. Put this on your knee. And they come back, oh, that helped. I'm like, oh, yeah. I can put something in your coffee, too. Droplets. Right, I'll take these gummies. Oh man, hey, right now they call me my phone, so stop ringing. Oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy. No. But you know, I love that, and I know that if I can have that effect on that micro level in my family, I just gotta learn how to scale that to my community.
Gotcha.
And they embrace it, man. It's because it's authentic. It's authentic. Right. I tell people all the time, man. If weed was a person, it would be the black people. It got the same course. It came over here and ain't asked to be here. You know what I mean? They loved it until they demonized it. Until they threw it away. And then they said, we won't need it no more. And now they found out the beauty in it, and now they want to extract all the beauty out of it, right? Mm-hmm. And take it and whitewash it and turn that shit into Starbucks.
Right.
And that's
what a fucking book. You wrote a book?
No.
Shit.
No, but that,
you dropping some shit.
But that's how it go, man. That's how it go. And to avoid that, we have to be in this shit for real, though.
Right.
And but the thing about it is we experts. Don't let them tell you we ain't expert. Niggas, you've been consuming for 20 years.
Right.
Nigga, you've been selling weed for 20 years, 15 years. Nigga, you an expert. You can transition into this game, dog, and get this money. For real. You don't got to be fucking around in these streets, nickel and diamond, dog. Get with somebody that can write you a business plan, learn how to finance that shit. You can get ready for the market when it come here, or take your shit to another world. Mm-hmm. You can go into Vegas. My company is actually actually, our paperwork is in Vegas, you know what I mean? Because we're thinking about doing an actual event space out there. But the goal is to make sure that we have a presence around the country and eventually globally. Because, man, we want to, this message ain't new. This ain't nothing that I'm not even going to try to take credit for all myself. I'm embracing exactly what weed has done for me my whole life. I've never done anything with anybody as much as I've done smoke weed. Any culture, white, black, Chinese, no, for real. You name them. I play ball with a couple of different cultures. You know what I mean? Maybe I worked at a job that was maybe diverse. But smoking weed, shit, I can name at least 10, damn near 12 countries that I just smoke people with. You know what I mean? It does what it does. It brings us together in an organic way, man. And that's what I love about it. You know what I mean? So I appreciate this, man. This is fucking dope. I love these fucking questions. You got some great questions, by the way, man. You're pretty good.
I tried.
For real, man.
I lied when I said it was my last question, but I have to always ask.
That's cool.
Top 5 MCs.
Ooh, like that? You're not going to get no warm-up question?
He ain't even warm you up.
I didn't even say shit.
Top 5? All right. So, that's not right. All right, Hove is number 1. Hove is like one everything, right? I'm gonna go big, no particular order, because this is not fair. I'm not doing
that. After Hove, like after Jigga is that's one, and then everybody else.
And then everybody else. So it's big. Oh my God, it's big.
I don't be up to date. Just who you listen to. You be current.
I'm gonna go. Damn, I'm gonna go Dot. I'm gonna go K-Dot. Ooh, man, this is really, really tough, man. Cause you're not giving me like, are you talking about lyricists? Are we talking about
top 5?
Your boys.
If you was gonna argue with me right now, who was you gonna say, right? Yo, this is my 5, nigga. I don't care.
All right, Kiss in my 4, and then just flat out listening to. I probably gotta put Drizzy in there. I gotta put Drake in there. I listen.
That's
to
4.
Drake. That's 4. That's 5, right?
That's 5.
Hove, Big, Drake, K-Dot,
okay,
and
Jay, you say Kiss.
And Kiss.
That's
a solid list, right? That's a solid list. Ambush me, bro.
No problem. You got a question,
bro?
Like
you giant came with the,
yeah, that's the way you do.
You got like the deep.
That's how we segue. Like, that's how we segue to the pod.
Top 5 MCs. All
right.
I do. Giant got a. All right. So like, how you like? First of all, like, what do you? How long do you think it's gonna take for weed to actually become legalized? Because we're looking at like federally, it's still a Schedule 1 drug. You know what I'm saying? But I think in New York State, I guess it got knocked down to like a misdemeanor or a ticket if you have like less than an ounce or less than an eighth or something
Actually,
like
up to 2 ounces now.
that? Up to 2 ounces
In
now.
your private space, which is technically your home, and people can argue your car.
Your car, right?
Yeah.
So if you get caught with that, it's like a ticket or something like
Yeah,
that.
you got citation, you go to court, and they'll take care of it.
So you got 2 ounces in your car?
Absolutely. In your personal space. I'm not going to say car.
Right.
If you can argue to the judge that your car
Technically, that's your
is your
personal
personal.
space.
I agree with that.
Shit.
But hey, I'm not. Some cop would disagree, and that might be a different situation. So I'm just telling you. But yeah, that is the law. But your question is that.
So how long do you think?
How long?
It'll
So
take before it's
honestly, man, I thought for a moment I thought federally it was going to be passed. It was going to be descheduled before even the state did it. Just because it's a slam dunk.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whoever does it on the political side, like, it's a win. You know what I mean? You can always vote like, I was the one that passed weed. You know what I mean? It was me.
Right.
Like, I don't understand why it hasn't taken that turn yet. So if I had to put a number on it, like in New York State, I think we could be operationally legal by the end of 2021. Like 2021, like start of 2022. We can actually see like businesses you'll be walking by. I mean, there's a couple of dispensaries now that are operational, 3 or 4 scattered throughout the city. But we don't use flower in New York State, so it's medically legal to smoke weed, but they'll only give you like vapes or liquid gel caps in the dispensaries here in New York State. So, which is ass. That was stupid why they brought they passed it that way. If you can get a medical card, you should be able to smoke bud in a medical flower form. But because of that, you know, I think there is room for legislation to pass where it's gonna be better than that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna be as comprehensive as we want. You know what I mean? I think there's always gonna be room for amendments and for us to put changes in there and say, yo, we need to adjust that. But we need to get as much as we fucking can in the front end because it's hard. Because once you say, yo, I passed it, the people that really didn't want it, gonna be like, yo, we gave it to you already. Stop trying to get that put in there. Like, damn, take what we gave you already.
Right.
Now you want this. Now you not. Oh man. So you got to get that equity part in there. You got to get expungement for people's records that got. You know what I mean? All of that. That shit gotta be.
A lot of niggas coming home.
No, that gotta be in there though, bro. You know what I mean? Yo, you already took 10, 12, 20 years from them people's lives.
For real.
You gotta come home and I gotta tell people I was in jail for 20 years for some weed. Like, dog, no, it's legal. What are you talking about?
It's legal now.
It's a billionaires right now off of weed, or you know, future billionaires about to be cemented off of cannabis, man. And it's just crazy to think that people got to come home and have that sit over their head. So, but to your question, I honestly say, like I said, 2022 seems like a fair assessment of when you can see a lot of businesses applying for licenses, you know, getting accepted. Being operational in all different forms, whether that's security, whether that's consumption lounges, or whatever type of different things. That's when I think you'll see kind of the market start to actually represent the legal space.
Yeah. And we'll have a new president by then too.
Yeah,
probably.
God willing.
Kanye West.
Come on.
My bad. You got a question?
That would be the most. Never mind.
I guess. Do you guys see yourself doing like a winery type of thing where you go in there and you learn about different weeds and then educating them on what those weeds do, strains do?
Yeah, that actually is a great idea. We actually have our first, wine tour. I mean, not wine tour, kind of a weed tour. We're doing our travel club. We actually just started. So our first trip is to DC.
Okay.
So we're going to DC in July.
Yeah,
go. Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, you got to.
I remember.
Oh, you might have.
Go to the website, canna-house.com. I can't believe I haven't said that. We've been talking
Put your
about
email
that. I ain't flexed on them. I ain't said it yet. Canna-house.com. It's a free membership. We got a preferred membership. That's a paid membership. You actually got a little more benefits that you actually have access to. That you get a free event in a year. We got some member events that we're throwing this year. You get a free member event, so some benefits to that too. You know what I mean?
Right.
But absolutely, you can go there, be a member. But yes, we are doing our first travel club trip, and in DC, we're gonna do kind of a tour of different cannabis spots. So right now, we got a couple of dispensaries that we know for sure. Trying to open it up to maybe like they got a couple little different like underground things that we can maybe engage in, but I want it to be a quality too. So just figuring out, finding me's in different places allows us to do that. But locally, absolutely, man. When we are open for that kind of business, we really want to partner with a number of different companies
Yeah.
that are doing stuff in cannabis, right? It's not just about us. You know, once we find our niche, which we think we have, what we do well.
Right.
If somebody got a grow house that they have, if there's a like a head shop that has some dope stuff. So let's set it up. You know what I mean? We'll do 3 or 4 spots and we'll tour the day. We'll take people around. We got a couple buses that we're looking into to actually kind of partner with on a regular basis. Take us around the city. So absolutely, that is something that is in the works for us. And anybody you got any resources that actually can do something in that space or anything like that? You got ideas for stuff like that? Hit us up. info@canna-house.com. info@canna-house is our email. So send us your questions or suggestions to there, and we'll answer them directly. You know what I mean, we really do pay attention.
Quick question: monthly cannabis allowance.
Yeah, you gotta. If you have a number.
What's the most that a nigga done put in there?
Hey, man, what you say? We said the other day. We talked about this.
Yeah, it was like 1,200.
Like I think like
a
12.
month.
Yeah,
What?
like,
Oh
yeah,
man, that's what I'm
like
talking
12,
about.
Yeah.
He for real.
Nah, but yo, for real, people, this is a real thing, man.
I'm signing up.
We appreciate.
Yeah, yo, it's free. I'm a member. I'm about to be one of them preferred things.
Yeah.
Man, do that, man. Do
Yeah.
that. It's some benefits to that, for real.
Okay.
So yeah.
So this is. You got any? He don't got no question.
Oh, you don't never have.
Cosmo ain't got shit.
Actually, I did have. She partially asked one of my questions, but I was gonna have you touch up more on the events, like, cause I know you said it's not really 100% legal in certain areas.
Yeah.
So are you doing those events like here in this space, or are you doing them like out of town, like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually do them here, man. We work in a great area. I'll keep it 100%. What we have done is we tried to get as close to the legal line as possible. But honestly, it is going to be people like me who stand up on the front line, who's going to take a lot of hits. You know what I mean? But you got to do that in order to nudge your way into the game.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I got to stand at the door, so when that shit open, I'm first in line, bro. And I need to have the numbers. I need to have all that shit to back up my status. Now, what our white counterparts have done, for the most part, right? They've gone and opened up like CBD shops. You know what I mean? Which is dope. I mean, hemp is a great space. I'm not even saying it's just white people, but most people who've taken advantage of that have been white people. They saw the vision before us, and what they'll be able to do is say, "Hey, Mr. Application Board, whoever they decide is going to be the ones who you submit in your application to. I got 3 years, 5 years of selling legal weed. I've been selling CBD or hemp in my store for 5 years. I'm the first one that should get the application. How can you argue with that if I'm a black man saying, I just want to start this cool social club? Right now, I need to have some numbers to back my shit. And even if it's going to say, yo, it's on this unregulated market, you call it what you want, bro. What you going to do? You know what I mean? That's going to risk I'm going to have to take. But to your point, yes, we've done our safeguard as much as we can. I'd probably say about 60% of our members have medical cards. You know, so we have a position that we kind of partner with, that we kind of, push that business his way and patients his way. He checks them out, and if they clear to get a medical card, they get a medical card. And then at that point, if for some reason somebody wanted to bother us, it's just a gathering of medical patients consuming their plant.
Y'all official
Is
tissue.
there information like on like different ways or what would qualify you on your website for a medical card?
That's a good point. We actually don't have it directly on there, so I mean that's actually a good point that I think we can actually take to our team and put that on there. I would say Normal, the Western New York Normal actually has a lot of information that you can go on their website, and that's available. But I think we actually should have at least a link to that link on our website.
I get random headaches, so I need a card. Just.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So mostly it's but chronic pain that would fall under that. So for a long time, chronic pain wasn't no highlighters.
I'm feeling like Aaron Hernandez.
I get migraines.
Exactly what way.
Hey, that's a wrong.
You gotta put some. We
talking about segues.
Context to that.
That was the wrong
context.
that. Like that right there. That's how you fucked up last week.
I just like that. Just like that. Damn, bro.
No, but I will want to say this though. Like I definitely I think people really need to like just appreciate what you're doing right now, because everything you just said, like you kicking the door down, like that's revolutionary shit. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you standing up for what you believe in, even though people are deeming that illegal. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, greedy people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it trying to figure out, how they can make money off of it. Like you standing at the front lines and saying like, yo, nah, like I'm here, I'm a black man, and I'm trying to tell y'all that this shit that y'all been doing to us all these years is wrong.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the country is starting to see it. I'm waiting on your ass. You know what I'm saying? To
Just
realize what
too,
it is.
though, like a smoke and sip, or just
Right.
that concept. I would have never thought about no shit like that. Me and my wife go to paint and sips all the time.
That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that, man. That's what the point. We wanted to create a vibe, an atmosphere that he was already kind of comfortable with. You know what I mean? Remix it. That's what we do.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Puff did it. I kind of paint myself as kind of that vein, right? Puff of this industry, right? Because he a dot connector. He do everything. He don't rap though, right? You know what I mean?
Listen.
But everybody know Puff from the music first, and then he just did all the. But he saw the vision, and as a visionary, I feel like that's my place in this industry. And I think we got to be able to have balls to be a visionary.
Yes,
It's easy to see it, but if you ain't standing on it, that shit don't mean nothing.
It don't mean
Yo,
nothing.
man, I understand. I say this all the time, and just as a quick note, two quick little miniature stories. Right? People don't know. They talk about bootlegging and how JFK's or the Kennedys got rich.
Yeah.
How they particularly got rich, and the one move that they did was just like this. When it was about to be fucking law. They didn't know exactly when. He may have known a little more because he had some inside plugs at the top, in the government. But he went and bought and got somehow the fucking rights for all the, I think it was vodka that came into the country. They gotta come through his port, right? That's how you get in the game. That's how you become. That's how you get your family to be the Kennedys, even though they God rest their family, their souls, they passed away in this different legends for their history. We wouldn't know them without them having to get those riches first that allowed to put their family in place to be the president one day, and their son to be the governor or the senator or whatever the case may be, and be these prominent figures in our history, right? And that all came off of him making a deal before the law even hit. That nigga made that deal and said, yo, man, when that shit come on, I want to make sure that I had them, right? So that those are risks you're going to have to take to change the trajectory of your family's history. That's what I want to do. Not just mine, a bunch of people. I got my partner with me. I've been knowing Shine since we was, man, I don't know. Same thing with Jay. Like,
Shorties.
I don't know when I didn't know him. You know what I mean? I can't remember not knowing him. You know what I mean? I want to see his family be like that. I want his kids to have generational wealth. And the second part of that is, I tell people all the time, because I really encourage everybody to get in this industry. It ain't even about the plant touching shit. What I do, I do have a plant in there. I don't grow it, though, necessarily in this space and in my business. But there's ancillary money, man. Money that don't touch the plant. People that got rich off the gold rush was not the people necessarily that found gold.
Right.
It was people that had the picks, shovels. They sold it to those people trying to get rich. People that, Levi's right now, that's how he came about. That Levi jeans that you see right now, that story is, that man was an immigrant. They wouldn't let him dig for the gold. He said, I'm going to try to find some money in. I see these guys coming in every day, fucking up their pants. I'm going to make a jean that can withstand that shit. To this day, he is a withstanding brand right now. That's the type of shit I'm telling about we could do right now in this industry, though. People don't understand. You may not never have an opportunity. Again, that's how I talk about the gold rush and the prohibition of alcohol. The two things I don't know, at least 60, 70 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly the years per
Oh,
se.
sure.
Alcohol is 100, dog.
100 years ago. So that's what I'm
That's the
saying.
1920s.
And these are the only times I can tell you these examples, though. When people were able to change the trajectory of financial wealth in the country, though. Like, they became the biggest players in multiple fields in the country, man. You know what I mean? You sit at the head of tables of all type of different shit, and you start to actually put together the policies that define your community's climate. You know what I mean? The climate of your community start to be defined.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
bro.
no, it's all good,
No,
bro. That shit
like,
fucked me up too. You know what I mean?
I ain't smoked
Yeah, I
yet.
ain't smoked yet. Nah, but that's important. That's really important to us, man. That we start to push people to understand. Get into this shit now, man. I'm talking about this is financial liberation. Like there will never. This is .com, bruh. With something that we have been familiar with our whole lives in one way or the other. Do something. Sell light bulbs. Not dead ass. Every grow house needs light bulbs.
It's funny.
They
shit.
need LED
I
lights.
just bought
Motherfucker
stock
ain't
in
lying.
General Electric, the company.
And dog,
You
you
did?
know what I mean? For real, man. Yeah, for real, man. It's money to be made. Everything is money on the outside, a non-cannabis industry. There's money on the inside. Cannabis sanitation is a market. People got to get rid of weed.
Yeah,
That's
it's people
bad.
like the people that come behind crime scenes and clean up.
Word. Nah, for real. To get a proper grow house, people, you need to really, it's like a lab. So things really need to happen on a number of different levels in the industry that we can find our way in. If you got a niche now, shout out to my again, Shine. He came over here as a marketing guy. Already did marketing, a number of different corporate fields on Wall Street. You know what I mean? And then what he said was, yo, man, I want to get in cannabis. Oh, all right, well, fuck it. Just come over here and do cannabis marketing. Let's find you some cannabis companies. Fuck with us first, you know what I mean? He came on and wound up being our chief marketing strategist, you know what I mean? So he run our marketing, our department. But that allows him to say, yo, I again, industry, I've been running the company's marketing stuff for a year plus, right? We doing our thing. You can check our numbers. Here are our stats. Let me run your cannabis marketing platform, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing that you got to do in order to have experience. Ain't nobody got a resume yet.
Right.
And that's the beauty. Can't nobody even tell you ain't an expert. They ain't no expert.
Right.
You come in this shit and be a boss right now, nigga, off the corner. Take your hoodie off right now.
I'm taking the hoodie off.
Oh, keep the hoodie on. Matter of fact, pull your skull.
That's good.
Pull your shit down. Matter of fact, pull up just like this. I walk in all my meetings like this. On some G shit, that's a good point.
Yeah.
For real though. And I tell you all the time, I don't like that cannabis gets accepted, but weed don't. Like it ain't the same thing, right? Like
Right.
cannabis got a suit and tie on and shit, but weed got a hoodie on and pants, and they're like, oh man, fuck weed. I think it's the same thing,
It's the same
bro. Like,
shit.
don't do that. Don't do that. And if we don't have a presence, they will do that. That's exactly what they will do. They will tell you, man, blunts ain't shit, and can't believe you. Like, bro, hold on, man. I've been smoking weed my whole life. You're not about to demonize how I consume,
Right.
or tell me that this is like taboo because you guys whitewashed the market. But that's what happens when you let the presence go. It's like hip hop. Yeah, we all
I was
seen
about
it,
to
man.
say that,
It's
man.
like hip hop.
Oh no, we don't. Nope.
That's
We ain't
exactly
gonna go there
what it
yet.
All right. I'm sorry. I can ramble on, so y'all gotta stop me sometimes, man.
No. That's a perfect time. You staying for the pod? You gonna pod with us?
What's that?
With the
See, it's
actual
different. It's a different
podcast.
interview versus pod. Now we about to pod.
Man, you might as well
I got a
just-
little time.
All
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, what's up?
Now, anything you say is gonna go on this pod.
All right.
I said you gotta agree to the user terms.
That's a
User
fact.
terms is you here now. So let's get it started.
Let me get a drink.
So
Oh,
let
there's
me
more of that?
let me just tell you real quick.
Nah, I got tequila now. You might as well go ahead.
NFL, Chiefs and 49ers.
Okay.
Pat Mahomes might be
Mm-hmm.
the best quarterback in NFL right now.
That's a fact.
Oh,
It's his
for
time.
sure.
You better get it.
That's a
Like,
fact.
like
sure.
he looks damn good, and he
Very.
looks like he been here and done it. Like he just when they get down, it's like all right.
Not for real.
Yeah.
Not for real.
Dude, this is third.
It's like he bet. It's like he plays better when they down.
You remember when they used to be like, yo, you can't give Tom Brady the ball back, or you can't give Peyton Manning the ball back. Like, it's like him. You can't give him too many possessions.
No.
man.
No.
It's only many times you can stop him.
They
from
gonna score
scoring,
too
bro.
quick.
They
And
gonna
he got,
score.
dude, he got Tariq Hill, who's just retarded fast.
No,
They
the
just
cra-
got- they
here's
got-
the
they
crazy
got
thing.
a
He
bunch
can
of
run.
running backs. Yo, I
Yeah,
seen this dude.
Pat
I seen
Mahomes.
this dude scramble one time, right? And this dude had the presence of mind as he's scrambling out of the pocket. He's running to his left, right? He looked back to see like where if the defender was chasing him, and then he decided like I ain't gonna throw it. I'm gonna run now. Like who does shit like that? Like you know how fast you be moving when you running, like,
Yeah.
cause he running like fools. He's scrambling out the motherfucker, and then he like, oh ain't nobody there either. And, like the dude is just
The one
he a whiz kid.
I think the one play that got me, and they kind of like showed this shit over and over. The no look.
I knew you was gonna say that.
No, but he wasn't. It wasn't even really a no look. You're the defender. He's the receiver. I'm looking at you.
Word.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
boom. Like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, you ain't looking down there and then no look. You looking at the defender like, yeah, nigga, like,
Y'all know he used to play baseball, right?
yeah.
I think that should come from that, man.
For real?
Don't nobody throw no look pitches.
I know he
Nah, but in the
can.
outfield, you gotta think in the
What's
outfield, you do shit like, you know what I mean? Grab the ball, you catch it, and immediately know where to throw the ball. Like,
That's
you know what I mean?
true.
It's kind of
That's
like,
true.
you know where that shit at, man.
That motherfucker is a video game.
Nah, he's amazing,
He
bro.
is.
Real talk.
There's a lot of people out here that saying Lamar Jackson is better than him and had the better year. I personally think that Lamar had a better year, far as statistically, number-wise, but not at the level. Because there's a level. There's a level in the NFL. We got greatness, which is Brady. And then underneath him is great. That's in the league now because it was Peyton Manning and him.
What's the difference between greatness and great?
When I'm at the Daddy-o, let me tell you.
Okay. Break this shit down, because
When
I guarantee
here's
your
how
definition
here's
is
how
is not in the motherfucking
no,
dictionary.
I'm about to tell you. Here's how greatness happens. You continue to do this over and over and over again, and people expect to say, "Yo, don't give Brady the ball at the last minute, because he gonna be great. He gonna be greatness." Hold on, but you can't say that about Aaron Rodgers. You can't say that about.
I think you meant good and great.
I was about to say, because
Good and great.
So like
No, great is
like
no,
great,
no,
but then
no.
it's like another level when you get to great.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. I'm gonna tell you what
When
great.
you add the ness onto
Nope.
it, that's some different
Here's
shit.
what
Whenever he start going like that, I'm gonna just start yelling out bushfire.
Yeah, it's not even the same. Yeah, that shit.
I'm about to kill him. I'm about to kill him.
I got like 20 minutes.
We gonna be done.
Okay.
I'm about to kill him right here. Great is Drew Brees.
Okay.
Great is Jim Kelly.
And who-
Great is
and-
Dan Marino.
And greatness is who?
And greatness is Tom Brady, Joe Montana.
Okay.
I would still say good, not great.
No,
No.
you gotta hear me out.
Greatness.
I get
Give
it.
Don't do it.
Statistically,
Listen,
statistically,
this is why.
Tell me.
I wouldn't say, I don't know, I mean, he could put it great in greatness. I just feel it's like there's tiers of greatness.
Yeah, there's
And
tiers.
I feel like I understand, that's what he's saying, like Tom Brady's on a top tier of the greatness meter.
Right, he the best that ever did.
And if you're talking about the Drew Breeses of the world, they would be in the second tier of greatness.
Okay, but like that. See, the way
No,
he
great.
said that shit was all.
Greatness,
Again,
great,
but-
good, greatness, great,
He's doing
good,
that. I've never heard this.
greatness,
Great.
great,
Yeah, that's-
good. Yo,
That sounds like
so
a motherfucker.
who's good in it? Who's a good
It's
person?
good, great, greatest, and then like that's it. Like
Okay, well, greatest. You want to say greatest?
is Tom Brady.
Greatest, great.
There's only
good.
could be one though. The greatest is a single term.
Joe's in there.
No, there's
Nah,
one
yo, listen.
person who's the greatest.
Tom Brady gotta be it, bro. The man got 6 rings.
Okay.
I mean, that's a fair argument.
No, but I was only the way you could argue
Okay.
the way you want to say it or not.
But your question is that
I'm looking
is
at.
Lamar Jackson?
I think that, to my point, Pat is going to be great. Lamar's going to be the greatest. Lamar's going to be great. He's going to be under him.
No, I disagree.
Why?
I disagree. I think Lamar Jackson can be amazing. I think he can be, arguably, it could be their league back and forth like it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning's league
I
for
would tend
years
to
to
agree
come.
with that.
Nah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Nah, you crazy.
You
that
bugged out.
that got something to say about
Bro,
that.
listen, now
Dak.
Now, listen, I'm a Cowboys fan, so don't hurt my heart.
First of all,
with that shit.
he's not even sweet enough for me to call him Dak. His name is Dakota.
All right, don't disrespect.
Man, fuck him.
Don't disrespect my boy. Don't disrespect my boy. That's disrespect.
Dakota Prescott.
All right, cool. We're going to get off of that.
He's only been in the league for 2 years. How you going to determine what his level of greatness is, what his peak is? Lamar.
He was starting 2 years. I think it's his third year.
This is the second year.
This
This is
will
about to
be
be
his
it's about to
third
be
year.
his third year.
He
Yeah.
just finished his second year.
I seen it before, and we had this
You've
conversation.
seen what before?
Vic.
Yo, stop playing with me, bro. You didn't tell me Lamar Jackson not better than Michael Vick?
No.
Right? 2 years into the
No.
league, this dude is
Give
not better than
Vic.
Michael Vick.
I'm about to say this right now on record. Give Vic
what?
the offensive scheme.
How about this? How about we give young Mike Vick a playbook?
That's what
Well,
he said.
actually, because
That's
that
what he
wouldn't even
said.
matter. Because he didn't read the one that he had.
No, that's
And
not true.
That is true.
No,
That's
that's
actually true.
You
That's actually true. He said that out of his own mouth, bro. When he was in Atlanta, he did not read the playbook.
I can
bro.
see that. I can
That's
see
why
that.
he's running for his life.
Exactly.
He's naturally talented.
The motherfucker ain't know no plays. He just thought he was gonna show up and outrun everybody.
And again, that's why I think
The shit will work sometimes.
And Lamar Jackson, I think, is more accurate than Michael Vick. And he's
Did you see that game against Tennessee?
That's
Accurate.
Wait, you can't point to one.
They
game.
listen, they made the man throw 50 times. He's not supposed to throw
They
50 times.
made him
bro.
because they knew he couldn't do it.
No, they stopped the running game.
No,
Once they
I
got
know.
down.
What 2-year quarterback?
No.
Well, once they got
Listen,
down.
when you do that to Brady, what happens?
No, listen. They,
When
wait,
you
wait,
do that to
wait,
when you do that to
wait,
Mahomes,
wait,
what happens?
Now, you're right.
When you do that with
That's
Mahomes,
true.
when
That's
Mahomes
true.
can't,
That's
Mahomes
true.
don't got a running game.
Let me ask you
But
this,
I will say
what
this.
2-year quarterback can throw the ball 50 times? 2 years.
I didn't say it's not about that's not about how many times he threw. They knew that they knew
Yeah,
that he was one.
Put
He was
the,
a
put
one.
The, put the ball in Lamar Jackson's hand and throw it a bunch of times, and we got a better chance of winning.
Thank you.
They don't say that about Pat Mahomes. I agree. That is not something what somebody would say about Pat Mahomes. Like, yo, just let him throw against us. Nobody's fucking saying that. He will tear your ass the
Tear
fuck
your
apart.
ass up.
But your point is you don't think Lamar Jackson could be that, and I totally disagree.
Okay, we'll see.
I disagree too.
We got time.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
no, we got time. No.
If that was, this is my thing. If that was a white quarterback, we'd be like, oh my
Oh,
God,
no,
he got
see,
so
he's
much
so
potential.
good.
Yo, in 3 years,
He's
gonna
the
be
best
the man.
ever.
He gonna be the man. I'm
Yo,
like, fuck
he's
outta
so
here.
fast.
Yo, listen.
He's so
Hold
athletic.
on, listen.
He's a gunslinger.
No, hell, not me.
Okay.
I don't like. What's the kid from Cleveland?
I can't stand him.
Fucking can't stand that
stand
nigga.
it. But
I can't stand the other dude
he
that came
Johnny
before
Manziel
him.
reincarnated.
I
Yes.
used to rock with Baker. I can't.
He Johnny Manziel reincarnated. I want to hear that.
Neither one of them.
He ain't good enough.
All right, we're gonna get off that.
All right, I'm sorry.
We still on NFL. Aaron Hernandez Netflix story. Who watched it?
I watched that joint. You seen the whole thing?
You give me your take on it, Jess.
It was. I'm not a football person, so I really just watched it from the standpoint to get a story of the. And I didn't know none of that other stuff. Like I didn't know there were other murders attached. I didn't know that there was some gay speculations. I didn't even know.
My boy him and his daddy was on there.
Yeah.
Confirming it.
Yeah.
Well,
man,
no,
my son was showing up. The tight end.
Yeah. Was he the tight end?
I didn't know none of that. I
He
didn't
was
even know that
He was
homeboy
a
was
quarterback.
his girl's sister boyfriend. Like I didn't know none of that.
No, yeah, right.
So it was just crazy to see. And then he didn't kill himself until after that story was leaked on that radio station. So like it was kind of like all speculation at that point. But now he's definitely out.
Do you think that's what made him
I don't
do
think
it?
that.
I think that was a
I think
part of
inmate.
it.
You think the inmate? You think somebody murdered him?
No, I think an inmate that he was fucking was.
Well, you don't know if he
Come
was
on.
fucking or getting.
Well, they were saying.
You know?
Well, you know what I
Right.
mean.
Well,
They were saying that they were saying that homie he had a lover in it.
Because the
Yeah,
whole
they
time,
said that.
I thought he did it was for his daughter. Like I'm like, oh, he took
For the money, right?
But
That's how
then
it
I
sounded
came
like
and
that.
then when I watched it, I was like, oh, no, he didn't care about that daughter at all. That just was a.
Yeah, because they ended up changing that. They ended up overturning that
Right.
law.
Now I want to ask this question about that.
What's up?
Do you think they should have did that?
Overturning the law? I mean, that is kind of. I can see it two ways, right? Like I could see. Well, no, and now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I understand why they did it. Cause it's like, you commit a murder, right? But just because you die in jail. Let's say you got life in prison. You going to jail for the rest of your life anyway, motherfucker.
I ain't
And then
talking about
I'm just
that.
saying. Then you die in jail,
Yeah.
right? Now I'm overturn your case.
I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about, maybe I should have been more specific. I'm talking about overturning it to not give that daughter and mom
I don't
money.
think that's the reason why, like, because.
But they wind up stopping giving her the money, so.
Well, yeah, but that just makes it. That's just something that goes along with it. But I don't think that's why they overturned it. Because you remember, the victim's family, the victim's mom, was really pushing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She wanted at least, even though Aaron Hernandez was dead, she at least wanted history to remember that this man was guilty
Yeah,
of killing my
I'm with
son.
that. No, I'm with that.
You know
Y'all
what
with
I'm
that? I'm with that part.
And then I
I'm just talking about that little girl that's growing up and his fiance ain't got nothing to do with why this man
But
decided to
that's
kill.
that-
Yo, but at
That
the
was
same time
separate.
though, listen, he should have had something set up for his
right.
for his
But
wife.
he was
and kid.
crazy.
That ain't got shit to do with.
But he didn't
you
know.
Like if I'm her, I don't give a fuck if he was crazy
But
or
it's
not.
the
He
thing.
still killed my son.
But that's the
Right.
thing.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
ain't had no money. He ain't had no money for them because the money was in the contract. He ain't had that money. The 40 million, my daddy
That's why he was
died.
telling his mother,
That's
like,
what
I don't
I'm
have
saying.
40
I don't
million
got no
like that.
money. She's talking about, give me get that money right out. I don't got that money.
But that
right out.
motherfucker
That's in
should have
the
been
contract.
saving game checks. You should have been doing something.
I agree. I mean, that's for sure. I mean,
It's
he
hard
should-
to tell a
listen,
20
he shouldn't have been doing none of the
24-year-old
shit he was doing.
Yeah.
The
Saving
24-year-old
game checks is the
saving
last
game.
piece of advice I'm gonna give him.
Yeah, that is true.
He
I
had
think
way
the segue
better
to
shit.
your
He
than
had
point,
some
that.
though,
issues.
he was smoking all the time and was crazy. So
Ah.
what was you smoking?
Ha.
But see, that's a different thing.
Yeah,
He was smoking in spite of. He wasn't smoking, and that was made
And
him
he
do
wasn't
that
killing
shit.
nobody while he was high.
While he was killing motherfuckers, he was always smoking. and shit. You know what I mean? He liked to get high while he was killing. Like that's different than
No.
I smoked weed and I was like, I gotta kill that nigga. That ain't that. Man. I'm not gonna let you put that on
And if
marijuana.
you listen to that motherfucker, listen though, real talk, he was a cornball ass nigga. First of all, when you look at you listen to his voice, listen to how he talk, right?
But the
And
guy
then you
just
look
said
at the
that
guys.
he was a crash dummy. That he
Yeah,
did
yo,
anything
look
to
at the
get-
guys that he was hanging out with, the guys that did those. Look at the motherfuckers. they don't look like. First of all, like
But he wasn't from no cool place though.
yeah, yo, he was a cornball ass motherfucker. He
Went
was
to
a
little
corny
nerdy
dude,
high school.
and he was one of them dudes that like, yo, I gotta prove that I'm tough. So like, I'm gonna do this thing so motherfuckers think like I ain't nobody to be fucked with.
Gay stuff, yeah.
And then that's a big. Aaron Hernandez wasn't no small ass dude.
Right.
They ain't no record or no documented history of him fighting no motherfucker, like him beating somebody up or nothing like that. This motherfucker went and go get a gun and I'm gonna shoot
I got a
somebody. He
quick
was an
question.
old bitch ass.
Do y'all think that he killed them 2 people, or do y'all think that?
But he could have did it though.
Yeah, that shit
I
could go
don't know.
either way.
I don't
The
know.
2 dudes in the car, that shit could go either way.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He
It's
could
just
just
like,
he could
how
be
do you-
bitter because Aaron Hernandez shot his ass in the face and he's just like, oh.
But this is
Yeah.
the thing. All right, so this is the thing.
That's what I was thinking.
What's this thing? When I watch First 48, right, and I see somebody go down, there's 3 niggas that was there. All them niggas go to jail for murder.
Right.
They all go to jail for murder. Yo,
Right.
capital murder for him, capital murder for him. He was in the car. He was,
Yeah.
So he was involved. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
was in the
sure.
car. You ain't doing it. I was like, yo, man, you shouldn't shoot.
Even if he
Yeah,
did.
exactly.
I know he wasn't in the car.
Put the
Like,
gun
hey,
down,
man,
Aaron.
hey,
Yeah.
please
Don't
don't
do
do that.
it, Aaron.
Guy, don't do that. Guy
And-
got shot in the face. Don't do that.
And he was the driver, so he pulled up on the side of him and let him. And then you let the man click empty.
Right.
Yeah. Then the man said like he said he was driving, right?
Right.
So
you
that
let
means
him
this
shoot over
motherfucker have
you?
to be like, yo, excuse me,
Moving over.
watch out.
No, sit back, bro.
Yo, for real.
My arm is like-
And then he said he pulled the gun from the armrest. You ain't seen him put no gun in your armrest,
Right.
motherfucker? Like,
Even
that's a whole lot.
the story of him getting shot was.
Yeah, weird.
Suspect, yeah.
I fell asleep in the car, and then when I woke up, he had a gun in my face.
But
Lies.
and there's no the blood and everything is
It's
outside.
on the ground.
Right.
Right.
So safe to say, we answered all of the questions about sort of him. Well, the mother, she was right for doing what she did. We all agree on that. That motherfucker was crazy. It was
Sad-
a good ass document.
sad story, though.
It was a sad story.
Good documentary. Though.
I want to get to something right quick, since I know you gotta go. I know you gotta go, bro. And we gonna get. But yo, that auntie, that girlfriend. If I could get something like that, the love that she had for him, and no, let me listen.
They was holding it down.
What you-
The auntie loved her nephew.
Held it
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Enough. I'm sick,
Nah, she
but I'm
held
gonna
it down.
fucking say shit.
She held it
That's
down.
true. That's true.
The girlfriend. You know that's a fucking gun.
Yo, listen.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
I love
I don't know what that is.
She got no. She gotta say that. Well, yo,
Yeah.
that's her sister's boyfriend, though. This
Yo.
like, yo, you really gotta choose between, like,
Your
yo,
dude
legit.
and your
That's
sister.
Especially when you
crazy.
know your man is dead wrong.
And you know he about that.
The
I'm
shit
sure.
was obviously a gun on the motherfucking video. The motherfucker is in the doorway. First of all,
He the type of nigga I know
You-
he said, I
First
bitch, I
of
blow
all-
your head off.
This-
I know he said that to her before.
Yo, listen.
I know he said that to her
listen,
before, yo.
this is the type of motherfucker. Listen, you should never commit any kind of crime because you got to be the dumbest motherfucker. The security tape that you actually like that they use in your
Right.
trial is the security footage from your own fucking house, my nigga.
But he got put it in because he was shook.
And then the motherfucker deletes the security tape, but forgets to delete the part. You could have just erased the whole thing. He was like, this motherfucker trying to be smart. You didn't see too much Law and Order. This motherfucker like, yo, hold on. I'm just gonna cut this
Look.
part.
Right.
And I'm just gonna be like, oh, I don't know.
He
Them
did a
them
lot of
things,
It was a
stuff,
glitch.
like
it shut
living-
on and off.
It was a-
Sometimes it just do that because my electricity go out.
He did a lot
Sometimes
of things.
this
For him to
motherfucker in the
be-
motherfucking joint like this.
He did everything, bro.
He left that bullet in the car. He
Yeah, the
went
bullet
in the
was the
car and
bubbleless.
did
His
things.
name.
He did so.
And this
much.
girl was a motherfucking rock star. She like, I don't know what that is. It's that could be
It's
anything.
blurry.
It's
It's black. It's
Can
just
you-
a black
That's the
spot.
remote.
Then she gonna say, yo,
Black spot.
she gonna say, yo, can you make it bigger? I can't really see. Bitch, you know that everybody know that's a motherfucking gun. She like, I don't know
Is
what
that the remote?
that could be
That's
anything. A
that's
remote
a
control, a
remote.
phone. It could be
Yeah.
that could be an Xbox controller. They got, I don't know what that is.
He loved the
Yo.
game.
The jury is like, bitch.
Hey. What else she gonna say?
Yo, she held it
That's
down
what she gonna
as
say,
long as she
man.
could.
Yo, and her sister right there, like,
Yo,
I don't believe this bitch.
Well, you know
tough.
what?
That's
You know
tough,
what, though?
man.
you know, and I'm gonna say this: there's not too many people that's gonna do that though. You not grown. You not. You
Alright.
first of all, you not
Alright, hold on.
as an uncle.
don't know.
You is not
Honestly,
going down for
I'm
your
about to ask
stepmother.
you. Is you doing that?
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
You doing that right now?
yeah. But I gotta have somebody to do that.
You got a girl right now. She, man, some shit go down. She get picked up, accused of murder.
Ride or die.
Ooh.
Bonnie and Clyde.
You providing an
Nah.
alibi?
Yep. I was digging her back out. Did you see this recording?
Hold on, wait a
And
minute.
her,
wait a
see, the
minute,
thing
wait a
about
minute,
it
wait a
is,
minute.
she
Fuck.
didn't get implicated in nothing, though.
Wait a second,
She was
though.
fine.
This your girl, and she on trial for murder.
That's my wife.
Part of me is kind of like.
It's my
hold
wife
on,
and
wait.
my. It's
Part of
my.
me-
Hold on. It's
wait a
my
second,
wife and my
fiance.
Wait a second,
fiance,
wait a second,
and it's
though.
my baby's mama.
Wait a second though. Wait a second though.
Ah.
Part of you ain't kind of like, listen. So, if they think you murdered this motherfucker, let me think about it. Like,
Hold on, do you
she
care?
love me. What's my chances?
Do
This
you care?
question-
Do you care? Hold on. Do
We
you
might
care?
get into an argument one day and she fucked me up.
If you know she murdered somebody, you cool with it?
I just
You just like, alright? You like, that's, I love her though.
Yeah,
You had to kill that nigga,
yeah,
baby.
you had to.
Nah.
Oh nah, bitch.
You had to.
Whoa.
Cold, stone cold.
Woo.
My punk ass would be like, listen, you
You had to.
It's not even about punk. I'm
let me know when you.
Oh,
I
no.
send you care packages to the
That's
jail.
it ain't easy. It
I'm
ain't
not
easy.
even doing
It ain't
that.
easy.
It's not.
I ain't saying yes. I ain't
It's
saying
not.
no. I just
Listen.
hope I ain't never in that situation. But that's.
You hope. But yo, listen.
I hope if she on
You-
trial for murder, I hope she
We
had
have
to
it.
kill that nigga.
I'm gonna say this. I'm about to say this. I'm gonna say this. At some point, and I don't care if nobody don't believe this or not, but at some point, her and him had conversations about a lot of shit.
That's fair.
Because they never really interviewed her or talked to her about the shit.
Yeah.
in depth, right? And she probably was like, fuck y'all, I'm not talking to y'all. Or they probably was like, we don't believe you, so we ain't doing it, right? But here's what I think. We all pillow talk to our significant
No.
others. We all,
No.
about certain things, we pillow talk.
Mhm.
I don't
That's why
care what
serial
you
killers
say.
Out here, and their wives don't know shit.
That's a
That's
fact.
That's true.
Listen.
Mr. Yo, was the Iceman?
All
Yeah.
cereal,
That's a
nothing
real-
like.
That's a real person.
Hitman.
Yeah.
At some point, there has been a conversation that they had to have.
That's circumstantial, though.
And it's circumstantial, I know, I get it. But I'm going to say this. At some point, me and my lady, we having conversations.
Man, you talk to the motherfucker.
See, the
at the
thing
bar.
is, it's kind of hard though.
Right.
Cause
that you just met, and what the fuck would you be?
I do.
now think about it. As soon as he do this shit, how long before he got picked up?
Oh, it was a minute. He wasn't a suspect at first.
Right. So okay.
So
then he
look-
told it. Then he
yeah.
told it. He
Yo,
remember he hit.
so look.
Right,
Hold on,
okay.
remember he sent the text message like, "Yo, go that
Yeah,
thing
maybe.
behind the
Right,
behind
right,
the
right,
TV
right,
in the
right,
theater."
right,
Yo.
right.
You know what I'm
So he
saying?
had a conversation.
So
That can't tell me he ain't. Yo,
I
she said
agree.
she probably looked him in his eyes and said, did you do this? Nigga, that's my motherfucking sister's boyfriend. Did you do this?
That conversation could have been, this is protection for the house, though. You don't necessarily know.
No, I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about,
did she flat out asked him, "Yo, did you kill Odin, man?"
Yo.
She might have.
yo, did
We
you?
don't know.
Yo, this is my.
It's hard for me to imagine.
Or she might have knew
It's
enough
hard for
not
me
to
to
ask him.
imagine.
She might have known enough not to ask.
She ain't have to ask him.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, no, that nigga did that shit. I'm standing by him.
I'm telling you, you mean to tell me based on what we watch, Aaron Hernandez ain't never told that woman.
He
I will-
had to.
bitch, I will blow your head off.
Oh, yeah. He
I
did.
will-
Oh,
I
yeah, he
will-
definitely.
I
Oh,
will
yeah.
shoot this whole house up. Like, yo, he's definitely that type, bro. Like, I ain't even put that on God rest his dead. I ain't even put that on that man.
Yo, he
But
definitely.
it'd be hard for me to imagine that ain't how my man
Yo,
went
that
a couple
motherfucker
times.
woke up one day and she ain't put enough blueberries in the pancake.
Flip
And that
everything
motherfucker was
bro.
like, "Fuck this table,
Man.
bitch! I kill everybody in here.
Hold
It's-
on.
It ain't but her and the baby. I kill all y'all, everybody. I shoot them pillows. Fuck that couch. You know what I'm saying? He was on shit.
Nah, I'm telling you. So,
Yo.
yeah, I agree. I think they had to have some bit of conversation. She held it down though.
Auntie held it
but
down.
everybody
Yeah,
ain't
Auntie held
motherfucking-
it down.
Everybody ain't having pillow talk like you think. Like it's like thin line between love and hate, where she just like, he hit me and I killed him. Like, ain't gonna be no shit like that. You know what
I
I'm saying?
just think to go against your blood sister who you love like that.
You gotta know. You gotta be all in.
You gotta be all in.
Yeah,
I need to know.
And
she's
I don't.
definitely
This
all
is my personal opinion. Maybe not. Maybe everybody look at it like, nah. Come, you gotta have
She was
something.
definitely all in.
That's
Because-
Definitely all in.
Nigga, our TVs can't see that shit the way she seen that shit.
Nah.
To know that was a gun. You seeing that shit like we watching this right here. Is that a microphone? That is.
That's definitely a mic.
Yeah. you could definitely see like she did that shit where it was just like I'm on his team, so like politicians do it all the time, so it's definitely possible for a human being to do it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But it was very shocking for her to just be like,
And
oh, that could be anything.
It's
I
not
don't know
shocking
what
to me
that
at
is.
all.
It's like,
It
damn.
wasn't shocking to
No.
me at all.
the last
If you
thing.
give me a question to answer put my opinion on it, I'm definitely gonna go with an opinion that's not gonna incriminate my fucking husband.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I
But
don't
you
know what that is.
that motherfucker did that shit.
If you said that's a gun, even if you ask me if that's a gun, I don't know.
Hey, man, is that a gun?
Yeah.
Nah,
I don't
know.
know.
That is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say no because I'm stupid, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Not sure.
That was what it was.
Not sure.
Long story short, or we can move on for that. Quick. Wow. All right. We're gonna move off of that, but right now, since everybody is I'm the only one that's going to ride or die, I ain't gonna be held in contempt.
I'm undecided right now.
I'm not writing.
Who pleading the fifth?
I'm
Nope,
undecided.
nobody pleading.
I'm undecided right now.
I mean, like, if she had to do it,
If I'm in her,
riding with
if
her.
I'm in the
If she
position
just
that
killing
she
motherfuckers,
yeah.
nah, bitch, because I could be next.
Because if she did exactly what Aaron Hernandez did, I'm like, that kind of stupid. Like, all those crimes were stupid as hell. Like, if you killed Odin because he knew that Ja had something to do with that other murder, like, then it all started because of
might be gay.
right, or that secret. Like, all of that is just for stupid reason that I didn't kill him. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Now, if my wife killed something and
What
we
you say, man?
explained it, and I felt like it was justified. And I knew it was justified, and I'm riding with her. You know what I mean? She like, yo, man, that nigga pulled up on me trying to rob me. I had my thing.
Yeah, then I'm like, yo,
pulled out bust on her. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
shit. Then I got
I'm
your
with
back.
that. I'm
But
with
if she
that.
like, you know,
But she
he
like, yo,
disrespected me and
nigga-
you know, he had to go. I'm like, what you mean disrespect? Like, what exactly?
Nigga
Or-
had to go.
Or the drug deal went bad, baby. I don't know.
Excuse me, the drug deal?
You
Yeah.
know I'm in this weed business.
Yeah, I don't want my wife.
Oh,
doing
that's
that.
different.
I don't want her doing that though. She shouldn't be doing
I'm
that.
not.
All right, cool.
That's it.
I get it.
All right. I got one.
Ride or
more.
die is hard.
I got one
You
more.
you gotta go.
I got one more. You got one more?
I got one more.
I got
So
one more.
you asked them the weed story, like when he got high.
Yeah, remember
What
you
he
talking.
said the
Yeah.
in the processing.
I guess what I can say is, so we talked about music.
Okay.
Did you listen to Eminem album?
I have not listened to his album. I'm straight.
I haven't either.
Nobody? I don't think nobody cares.
No.
No,
I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm the only nigga that cares because I listen to everything. Like I listen to everything.
I'm just curious as to why you're doing this now. Like, I don't
This
understand
nigga
why you
rap
put out music now.
Right.
30 seconds, he said 230 words.
Did you actually count the
Hold on.
words?
Now
No,
tell me.
I didn't do it.
You remember any?
No!
of that shit?
I was gonna sit here and
That's
say
ass, bruh. That's my.
I don't
thing.
want that.
Ain't
I
no-
don't need that in my life.
Give me a quotable or something. Give me something.
When
bruh.
shit quotable.
Come on. Come on,
When
man.
shit that I can sit here and say, damn, I'm about to teach Tristan, little Tristy. We gonna talk. You hear that? So I'm done with M.
straight
But
up.
nobody listens to it, then that is
I'm
irrelevant.
straight up.
Shit, that's it. That's the pop.
Listen to Herbal shit. This kid came out there recently.
Herbo was alright.
You listen to her.
Herbal and Roddy Ricch, new shit.
Yeah, Roddy Ricch joint is. My man actually put me on
Roddy,
Roddy Ricch.
he the next one, man.
Yo, he
I
put me
didn't
on
even
that
know
shit
who
New
he
Year's
was.
Eve.
The shit was just playing. I was like, all right, let me go back and
Yo, his
check
shit
what this
goes.
was.
Roddy, the next one. I think he a star. Like,
Yeah, he next one
like
up
Young
for sure.
Thug type star.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You like Young Thug?
I just know he a star. I don't say I like
Yo,
him.
but his latest album.
Yo, niggas
His latest
to
album
be getting
is
out of
very
that
sweet,
shit.
though.
Niggas to
His
get
latest
out of that
album is
shit
fire.
real quick, yo.
Young
Thug
Thug
make good music. Like
Yeah.
if you listen, that's just pure hate if you say Thug don't make good music. Now if you don't like him and he don't say some weird shit and he dress weird and he's awkward, that's 100%.
Listen, I be rocking with him
But
until
do
he
he
go
make
do
good
that. Then I be like, oh.
He'll
Hold
take
on,
he
my
take it a
nigga.
little too far. He'll take it a little too
My
far.
nigga, you got excited right there.
Well,
dog.
he make a good tune.
Yeah, he
got a
definitely
good
do
tune.
though. He got some
Future
joints.
is the same way though.
Huh?
I
Future-
think he's like the new version of Future.
I
Future
agree.
used to do the same shit.
Yo,
I
yeah,
agree.
dude. Like Future, man. I got a love-hate relationship with Future. Cause he'll make a good song and then he'll make some shit. I be like, yo, man, what the fuck?
Oh no, Future definitely not consistent with a bunch of shit.
Yo, like, and then like you'll be rocking with him on a particular song, and then he starts saying some bullshit. And you be like, dude,
Nah,
You gotta think of as
'Cause
much
he do that
content
shit.
He put out,
right,
do that shit
quantity
on
over
the-
quality.
on the new
He not gonna give you
the Life is Good joint.
he's not gonna give you
That
home runs
motherfucker was
every
scoop de
time.
whoop.
He
de whoop.
not-
I was like, come
he
on, bro.
not-
Like,
He not giving you home runs. every
Yo, did
time.
anybody hear Mac Miller joint?
No.
Yeah.
You heard it?
I like that type of music though. So
Yeah.
it was straight.
I'm gonna check it out. I ain't listen to it.
It's only one song though. I thought. It's
Huh?
the whole project. I thought it was only one song.
No, it's the Circles. Yeah, Circles is a project.
Oh, I heard like the lead single.
Oh, that's
I
what
didn't
they
hear the whole
dropped
project.
for him.
Yeah, they dropped that.
Okay.
For his birthday.
Okay.
Um,
I never heard
anybody listen? Do you anybody know who 070 Shakes is?
that. No.
Who?
She's an R&B singer.
Her name 070 Shakes.
070 Shakes.
Alright, man. Like, listen, some of these names.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's weird. I'm gonna show y'all. Like, look. It's a solid project.
It's a girl or
it's a girl.
It's a girl.
Okay.
Is it rap?
It's
like
R&B.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just into different shit.
Me too.
I like the internet.
Oh, I fuck with the internet.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just different. I like
Sid is that shit.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like Daily.
Daily.
That's his name.
Yeah,
like
white boy,
shit
right?
like that. Yeah.
I fuck with
He's sweet.
Pack.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's my
So-
other boy, man?
Yeah, my man put me on the instant pack.
That's just what I do. I don't know. But
A couple years ago,
a couple years ago, what?
my man put me on the instant pack.
Oh, okay. Shit, that's really it. With Major League Baseball, we don't want to talk about that. We don't need to talk
I hate
about
baseball.
that.
I hate
sport.
baseball.
Lucky
The
Day.
corruption
That's my
shit.
man.
Lucky Day?
Lucky
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
Lucky Day.
That
Fire.
shit is sweet.
Rosa Moore's. I listen to Rosa Moore probably.
That's that shit.
I
Oh,
play
you know what
that
I
shit
can
so
ask?
much, man.
How High 2? Would you consider making a movie? Could you consider making How High 3? Because that How High 2 was fucking
Nah, I'm
terrible.
straight. Not on that. I wouldn't do that movie.
I actually.
It's certain movies you
I
can't.
heard
It's certain
you gotta
movies you just
watch
gotta leave
that
shit alone.
high.
Like when they did Belly 2. I was
Right. Like some shit
You
don't.
right.
Unless it's actually the actual
I got the
character.
hookup too. I seen that.
But he coming with his cast though. It's P involved, right? It ain't like
It's
he
the
got the
same
young
people.
boys in it too, but
His like son is a cop. There's still him and the leader dude name is Blue or something.
yeah, Blue, him, AJ Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I could do something like that where it's the same characters coming back, but
Yeah.
a brand new cast.
You
just
can't
something
have
new,
How
right?
High without Method
Right.
Man and Redman.
Like Coming to
Right.
America too. I'm excited to see
I'm
that.
excited to
Yeah,
see that.
Because
Yeah.
it's all up.
Bad Boys 3 and we can't talk about it because 2 niggas ain't seen it yet.
Yeah, that shit fire.
That shit fire.
Fuego.
Going for
That
viral.
shit
Fuego!
fire. That shit's so fire. I might go do it. I'm gonna double back.
See?
Now that you just
Yeah,
said
I'm
it,
going. I'm
gonna
a double back too.
I'm a double back.
I just saw it. Like I'm gonna see that
Sorry
thing
about
again, man. That joint
Can't we
sweet.
want to ruin it for
Nah, I ain't
mommy?
gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. That ain't right.
What you got on there today?
Good weed inspired.
Oh, I love that.
I told her I need one of them.
Yeah,
I
I
have
get
this
it.
one. I have a sage of sativa, and then one that says happiness is sold by the eighth.
Woo! Yo, hold on. See this poet.
Oh yeah.
You know what it is. You done come with them. Yeah, so.
Yo, this Ricky.
Jay.
That's the one.
It's console.
And your boy Red stopped through.
And we got
Close
close
the
to
website one
business.
more time before.
Oh,
Canna dash house. CANNA dash house.com on social media, Twitter and on IG. We are Canna_house. On Facebook, it's Canna dash house. Please pull up, follow us, join, be a member. Fuck with us, man. We appreciate y'all having us, man. I really dope. Was feeling this. This was dope. Word.
One of the best podcasts in Buffalo. Oh, go. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. It's the liquor talking. Yo.